Welcome to the first watch along. We're gonna give it a go. I don't know what my telly's doing. I'm sure it's on Sky Sports Plus. Is that right? Mine just ain't coming on. I don't know why. Maybe it kicks off literally bang on quarter two. I don't know. But just before we get to the game, let's run through the team sheet because there's a couple of little bits to have a little chat about. So we've got Tommy Setford making his debut in goal. Well, that'd be an interesting one. Obviously, for us, we're almost borderline praying that he's not going to be another Runnison. I mean, he's got to be absolutely shambolic to be as shit as that geezer, and he. Let's get it right. Timber, obviously, it couldn't have been bad as first thought with his injury if he's sort of back. Saliba, you know, could he have been rested? But the problem is with who comes in, Kivior, don't really like him, but you can see why he sort of plays in these games. Was obviously, especially with Gabriel being out. And Zinchenko, I think this might be his first start or his first appearance this season, isn't it? He's another absolute sick note, isn't he? We've just got some sick notes in this defence. It's unbelievable. But finally we get to see Ethan Nwaneri start. We've only waited. We've only waited another month for it until obviously the previous round. Um, I've really got sort of high hopes for this lad. Every time he's come on, he's done something with purpose, looked to beat his man, looking to pass forward, which is not what we can say for the rest of the lot in the last few months. Let's get it right. Jorginho obviously making start CDM. That's what he's there for, ain't it? Really, it's these games. That's what he's in the squad for. And Mourinho, maybe just another sort of game for him to tick over, get a little bit used to the way we sort of play, more minutes under his belt, something like that. And but more importantly, Sterling, Jesus, and Martinelli. Now I'm probably sick of saying things like this, um, because it's a tedious thing to say. But these three really need to do something today, and I'm probably going to end up saying that in every single bloody game. But Raheem Sterling, you can't just show up ish in the Carabao Cup. You've got to start doing something. When he's come on, hasn't looked convincing at all. He doesn't scream that we're going to sign him, does he? He's finished. We all knew he was finished. We wanted him to come in and at least do a job, and he's not really doing a job. And I tell you who isn't doing a job. That's Gabriel Jesus, man. The geezer's just absolutely fell off a cliff. Like when he signed, he was banging in goals, he was banging in assists. Some of his play, beating his man, his trickery, his skill was just even his hold up play was pretty good. And it's not even a shadow of him. He's a shadow of his shadow, isn't he? He's just fell such of a cliff. I hope we get some Saudi money in January for him, because he's finished. But of course, while he's still here, I want him to do well, and hopefully, today he's got a platform to do something. This front three, and I'll include Martinelli in that. Albeit we've seen a bit of an upturn in form with Gabriel Martinelli. Um, you're hardly looking there and going, wow, Gabriel Martinelli's back, are you? He needs to keep building and building off it. And you'd expect this front three to be able to put in a cohesive attacking quality style of football with goals and or assists against bloody Preston team, wouldn't you? You know, we're not asking for much here. That front three should be more than capable of dispatching of this Preston team quite comfortably, you'd like to hope. But listen, this is Arsenal. This is Arsenal Football Club, and we always seem to like doing it the difficult way, don't we? It wouldn't surprise me if we scraped through 2-1. As much as it wouldn't shock me if we won 5-1. That's sort of it. It's funny that little line, isn't it, with Arsenal, where we can just throw absolute stinkers. Were we expecting some performances? I'm expecting some big performances. You've got players coming in who aren't part of the first 11. Sorry, like your Zinchenko's, who surely it isn't going to be. I know he's been injured, but they're surely not going to be happy with sat on the bench. This is a good opportunity for Kivior to say, look, if Gabriel isn't 100% fit for the Newcastle game, you can trust me, and I'll show you that by putting in a good performance. It's an excellent platform for Neri, to really stake his sort of claim. Albeit when Odegaard comes back, we'll probably never see him again because Arteta just can't deal with. He can't bring you through. So it's really frustrating for Neri, and I really hope he takes his chance. And again, I'll just only very briefly touch on that front three. They absolutely have to do something today, don't they? They've got to seize this opportunity because if you can't do it in the bloody Carabao Cup against Preston North End and your Boltons, when are you going to do it? And Gabriel Jesus, I don't know if anyone remembers the performance against Bolton. He stank the place out. I mean, he absolutely stank the place out. Like that almost seemed like it was above his level. And that's a League One side. A little bit sort of, little bit sort of worried about how we're going to offload him because, we're not going to get good money for him if a European team comes in, Gabriel Jesus. We need some of that sweet Saudi money, and we need it in January for him. I just can't see where the future for him lies at Arsenal. He's not scoring in 24 games. He's not even playing well. And that's when he's fit. There's a lot of there's a lot of questions involving Gabriel Jesus. Mama, how are you doing, my girl? Always a pleasure. Are you looking forward to the game against Arsenal on Saturday? Early kickoff. How are you feeling? Confident? I mean, if I was a Newcastle fan, I definitely wouldn't be anywhere near shape or form worried about this Arsenal team. I'd probably be confident that if you turn up at home, maybe you could get the win there. That's how I'd probably look at it if I was sort of Newcastle looking at this Arsenal side. Um, Says, how you doing, my man? Good to see you, dude. Always a pleasure. All good. Yeah, I'm not too bad. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired today. Yeah, not gonna lie, it's been one of them weird work days, Mama. One of them really like tiring, frustrating, knackering one. But I said I was gonna do this, and I want to sort of turn up. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I do feel a little bit beat today. Um, Hopefully give them a game and beat them. Yeah, listen, yeah, like I said to you, I actually think Newcastle shouldn't really be going into the game with any fear, should they, against Arsenal? What's the fear? You know, we don't really attack the ball. We're so defensive. You'll have a great opportunity to exploit us. With some of the excellent players that you've got. Yes, it's. I certainly wouldn't be worried about the fixture. It's very frustrating to say that because from an Arsenal perspective we should sort of be going there and going, these are the places that you need to go and win at and sort of be confident of it. But yeah, sadly, yeah, I'm not really very confident of it. And the only reason I'm not confident is because of what I've seen, not because I've got an agenda against Mikel Arteta or anything like that. I don't want him there, granted, but it's just for what I've seen. Um, he's put a strong team out. Are you referencing there Newcastle? I don't actually know who you're playing today. Let me have a quick little check there. Oh yeah, you got Chelsea at home. Oh, right, the little reverse thing of the weekend. What do you reckon, Mama? Just while we're touching on Newcastle, do you reckon you're going to properly go strong? I mean, it seems like if you've said you've put a strong team out for this, do you reckon you're actually going to really try and sort of go for some of these cup competitions? Because I mean, I know you got to the final of the FA Cup against Manchester United, but Newcastle are such a bloody big team, and to not have had a trophy in such a long time, I don't need to tell you, it must be so frustrating. Do you hope that you can really take this trophy serious because you've got a good team, you've got excellent players. Um, you don't know what's going to sort of happen here. Arsenal could easily throw a stinker and go out. We've seen Manchester City go out against relegated Southamptons in the past. You sort of need to, just like us, like the Spurses and things like that. These competitions we need to start taking seriously because Man Cities are gobbling up all the trophies. You know, they're not leaving any of the top ones to anyone else. These are absolutely the trophies that our clubs need to be properly looking at seriously if we want to have any form of success at the end of the season. Baba, Yeah, I got linked. Yeah, stupid phone. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's probably 50% phone, 50% you and it, Dad. Um, I'll give you that. Eddie values the cups. Yeah, thing is, we're not playing well. Yeah, yeah. It's it's sort of it's sort of one of them. I know I sort of get that. There's expectations on Eddie Howe to finish fourth, at least. Of course there are. Newcastle are an ambitious club now, and they want to move forward, and they've got certain certain platforms from to enable to them to do that. But yeah, absolutely, these cups, if you take them seriously, I mean, these are the opportunities I think Newcastle's and Spurses and your Arsenal's need to be taken. Because these other clubs, they're gobbling everything up, and we're found wanting every season, unsuccessful, and none of us like it. We all want a little, whether you be going to Wembley, whether you be watching at home with your family, your partner, your kids, your whatever. We all want to see our team do that at the end of the season. I suppose it's in February. It's just it's a great opportunity for our teams to do something, isn't it? Um, can't say that word. YouTube don't like it. What one? Oh, I don't know what one. Did I say something? I don't know. Oh, right. Yeah. I think we're referencing to Papa. Yeah. I don't know. Did I read that out? I can't quite remember. Uh, yeah, naughty. Yeah, you have to tell me off, Mama, if I did. Um, what we got, the teams are just sort of half lining up now. What we got, a quarter two kickoff, obviously, haven't we? A couple of the games are odd, didn't we? I think was a Man City Tottenham games quarter past. And the rest of them, yeah, I don't really sort of half get that. But yeah, they're about to come out now for the lineup. What we thinking with the Arsenal game? Uh, Today, I mean, I always expect us to dispatch of these teams quite comfortably. But as I've said before, Arsenal seem to really, really, really enjoy making it difficult for ourselves. This should this should be with this team. This should be easily a comfortable 4-0 win. I just know I'm not going to watch a comfortable 4-0 win. And I think probably if we was to ask ourselves and be serious, that we'll find something to make it difficult for ourselves. Um, but there's some really important performances I think out there today, and absolutely one of them's Gabriel Jesus. He can't keep this absolute stinker of a run going with no goals. Absolutely not. It's borderline unforgivable if you got the number 9 on the back of your shirt, isn't it? And you ain't scored in 24 games. Wow. I mean that is absolutely shocking, isn't it? Absolutely shocking. And Raheem the Dream, come on, dude, finish Raheem. He's got to do something. I'm probably just to let anyone watching know, I'm probably going to be maybe a minute or so sort of behind, um, just on what I'm sort of watching it on. I ain't watching it on the like a Skybox or whatever it is. I'm probably going to be a little bit behind. So yeah, do sort of bear with us. I might be a tad behind you guys. Craig, how you doing, brother? Oh, and also, man, Craig is one of my very best mates. Yeah. Big up to the two boys, Ronnie and Connor, man. We'll always love you two, man. What are we What are we saying? Oh, sorry, I didn't even read your thing out. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's because the boys are more important, Craig. If we get a win with no injuries, I'll be happy no matter the score. Yeah, I kind of get you, mate. Um, I absolutely, yeah, I'm totally with you. Just trying to get through it unscathed, I suppose. I don't know where everyone else is in the chat. I'm at 20 seconds, so maybe that will sort of gauge as to where we sort of are. But yeah, man, let's just sort of, I'll take that point. We should be thumping them, but also at the same sort of thing, we want to come through it without. That's why when we was talking earlier, Craig, we didn't want a Saliba injury. We're sort of asking for it, didn't we? But the problem that we've got, bud, is who's coming on? Who's replacing him? Martin. Martin's going for a 20. How you doing, Mark, mum? Listen, put a ring on your missus' finger. Don't mess about, mate. Don't piss about. Oh, I'm joking, my mum. You go at your own pace, but don't piss about mine. No, Craig Goblin. Yeah, man. Yeah, I've known him for years, mama. He's yeah, he's a geezer, an absolute geezer. I don't know about 20-0 though, Mark. I mean, yeah. I mean, I probably don't even know about 3-0. I want 4-0, but I just can't. I can't foresee us actually doing what's required here. I can see a couple more stinkers coming again. I don't know whether that's just me with a little bit of a negative sort of shade over me today. I'm a bit miserably today. Um, I've had a bit of a shit day, if I'm being totally honest. Just been one of them days, people. We all have them, don't we? We all have stinkers. I've got my big boy pants on. Don't worry, I own it. But yeah, it's just been one of them. Absolute frustrating stinkers. What was that? At least we've got some of the ball. Open exchanges. There we go. Zinchenko, first touch. What a first touch that was. Nearly puts it out for a corner. That, my friend, is why Zinchenko, thank God, did not start against Liverpool. Even a fit, match ready Zinchenko gets absolutely toasted by Liverpool. What was that? That was essences of Trossard versus Bournemouth, only significantly worse. Jesus Christ. I mean, I used to play football, obviously, to not to this level. I can't ever remember at my level having it, and I was a centre back. I can't ever remember having a touch that bad. I can't ever remember doing something that crap. What we're doing when he's fit. We've got a lot of crap again, haven't we? Because we keep getting rid of crap every single year. But the new players that we bought in the year before, most of them turn into the crap. So we've just got this never-ending cycle of shit and deadwood that we just can't get rid of. I mean, you look in this team today. Jesus finished. Sterling, all right, it's a loan, but I mean, come on. The fact that we're paying him anything is pretty much embarrassing. Zinchenko, what are you doing? Kivior, nowhere near good enough for the club. Absolutely nowhere near. Martinelli, problems he'll have if he don't have a good season this year. So many bang average players in this Arsenal team. But we've got fixed bench. Absolutely fixed. The squad's ready to compete with Manchester City. No, it ain't. It's 5 points behind after 9 games. How's that competing? It's capitulating, not competing. Nice little through ball here. Go on, Raheem. What you gonna do? Not control it, obviously. Look, at least we're on the front foot against the very might of Preston North End. Yeah, well, listen, Dad. Yeah, you want to be apologising to her mama, mate. We ain't gonna have that here, Father. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah. Listen, yeah. Mama's our superstar sweetheart, man. You know, you can't be pissing her off, Dad. Otherwise, you're gone. I've said in the words you two don't like. Oh, did it? Yeah, was it me that said it? Yeah, I didn't actually realise. Yeah, you might have to send me a little list. And to be fair, once I get it, I'll probably end up having to put a muzzle on because I won't be able to say anything. I just can't. I just can't help myself. It don't come from a place of malice. It just comes out, Mama. If it was me, but do you know what? I'm gonna blame Dad because he wrote it. It stems from his fault. But do you know what? I do love the word. If I'm being totally honest with you, it's not appropriate, probably no, for this channel. It slips out sometimes. But Londoners do say see you next Tuesday rather bloody good, don't they? Mm, I say, boy. Anyone in the chat? What if you could write sort of what minute you're on? I'll be grateful just to sort of gauge how far I am behind. I'm probably going to guess I'm about a minute or so. So we've always got a good little bit of control here. It's all about the final ball from this sort of point. I'm 5 minutes 43. You know, we're sort of having a nice little bit of controlled build up around the box, but now it's Denilson's passing side. You know, some might say, you're manufacturing that opening. I might say I keep watching this sideways passing, which eventually has now gone back to Saliba, and you watch 90 minutes of it, and it's fucking boring. You just got to be honest about it. Oh, yeah, it's from South London. It's to stop himself from saying it. Yeah, it's difficult. And do you know what? As well as I think we've actually had a little conversation about this before, Mummy. Um, like we sort of use it, probably not all the time, but as a bit of a term of endearment. Um, like I regularly sort of like say, but in like a nice sort of like way. I don't know whether that's something you'll be able to sort of like get, but we sort of do. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I say it to like my mates or whatever, and it's actually, it is a little term of endearment, but yeah, said in the wrong thing. I'm sure when we had this conversation before, Mama, you'd said to me, "Yeah, say that on a night out in Newcastle, and you'll have problems." I'm sure you said something like that. Yeah, it probably wouldn't be well received, and I'll probably do well to not have my head caved in 500 miles away from my house by a bunch of Geordies. 100%, yeah. As one is saying, yeah, up here you call someone that, they'll punch you. Yeah, but yes, it's I suppose as well, if you're familiar, at least with the person, you bat it off. It doesn't mean that as such, I guess. But yeah. I know. Yeah. Your brother lives up in the North Terry. Yeah. So he does. Where is he? County Durham, I think, isn't he? I'm sure he's County Durham. I had a little phone call with him. I think last year. I ain't spoke to him in God knows how long. If I'm being totally honest. I'm like, what we're saying. We're 8 minutes in. Absolute nothing of note so far. It's a real insult in Newcastle. I mean, yeah. I mean, essentially the words created as an insult. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's sort of funny, isn't it? Where I'd sort of say it off the cuff as an absolute joke, and probably you get some who's going, "What did you just call me?" And you wouldn't sort of get that with the certain implied sort of bits in sort of London. You'd sort of half understand, but yeah, up there you're probably going, "What did you just fucking say?" Yeah, and then you'd have a bit of trouble. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, it's a real sort of insult anyway. But I can't deny. I do like the word. I mean, the Americans destroy it, didn't they? They absolutely destroy the word. They cannot say it. But yeah, Dad, stop writing in the chat. Otherwise, you're gonna have Mama to deal with, and you don't want that shit. Right, come on, we got Ethan on the right hand side. Nice little ball in, unlucky, goes out. That's what I mean with Ethan. Look, he always tries to do a little something positive, doesn't he? You got to give that to young Waneri. I know he's not done anything spectacular there, but at least the first thing he does is a little bit of trickery, head straight up and trying to whoop a good ball in. What are the three Danielsons that we've been playing do? Look up. Oh fuck! We better quickly play back to Saliba. Or we better play safe. Um, I think we've been lacking that as well, massively, haven't we? These last few games, just that sort of that youth where you're just like, the shackles are off. You're almost sort of half carefree, aren't you? You haven't sort of got that fear. You play with no fear, don't he? And you can really see that in Ethan Waneri. He really plays with absolute no fear. The stage, and I know it's not the biggest of stage, is it? A Carabao Cup game against Preston North End at their ground. But, it probably is for him, and he wants it, doesn't he? He really isn't looking out of place at all, and it's good to see. We just want to see him more. That's a very frustrating thing about Mikel Arteta. Very frustrating. Got a blow up there, isn't he? Yeah. What's he giving it? Giving it for or against? Yeah, I was gonna say. Come on, Raheem Sterling. Raheem Sterling gets an opportunity, basically in a very similar position to Ethan Waneri, and just jogs away from the player and passes back. Like this is a multiple Premier League title winner. Who's 29. He shouldn't be finished. He should be flying. He should still be flying, Raheem Sterling. He's just got nothing, has he? He just had the ball then, and he just almost like he didn't want it. It's kind of worrying for your wingers when they just stink of not giving a toss. And so sort of, all right, we've had sort of most of the ball for 11, 12 minutes that we've sort of been on. But if we're all sort of being honest, not really done absolutely anything with it to sort of penetrate this League One defence. So we've got Raheem Sterling there, maybe could have beat his man there, passes back. Is it something that's coached? You don't sort of know. You wouldn't be surprised under Mikel Arteta. Right, come on, Raheem. Not a bad little ball there. You're really looking to him. That's it. Beat the man. 2 opportunities there. You're not facing prime Cafu and Maldini. Do you know what I mean? Come on. We can take risks against this team, for crying out loud. Yep. Come on, ref. You're not going to blow that. No. Overplaying. Too much overplaying. They get the ball in the box. They're literally that not used to the ball to feet in the box anymore. And they're like, fuck, what do we do with it? It's a nice ball out. Spread wide to Raheem Sterling. Come on, beat your man. That's it. Get your corner. Yeah, that's it. Do something. It's funny that actually something happens, ain't it? When you actually try and be positive and beat your man Raheem. All well and good passing back to Saliba. When you beat your man, you get a corner from it. Let's do a little something. Big up, geezer. Yeah, man. Better late than never. We're all good, man. How you doing? Big up, geez. I don't know whether you're just late to hear or late to the football in general, but 30 minutes, 33 seconds in, you haven't missed much, geezer. Yes, it's been a so far typical dominant Arsenal performance as you'd expect, but nothing created, and possibly one of the worst corner kicks that you'll see, just straight into man. I mean, if you're going to create nothing and get a corner, just do something with it. Don't just pass it to the goalkeeper. One thing I am pretty happy to see though is, it might be a little bit of a risk today, but I'm so glad you're in Timbers back in the fold. That is a defender that we absolutely need all season. Just the fact that he can play that right and left back, what he's I'd rather him at right back. But just having that good little bit of versatility, he was good against Mo Salah and all. Considering he'd been out again, for a little sort of prolonged period, he's excellent. He is Jurriën Timber. I'm very happy that his injury wasn't anything of significance, and I hope he comes through today's game. We'll sort of see how the worst manager in-game tactician, I think, in the planet, maybe that's even ever lived, Mikel Arteta manages him. Obviously, I know all these things are game dependent, but you'd like to sort of hope, when it gets to about 55, 60 minutes, we've got the luxury of being able to take a Jurriën Timber off, and resting some of these sort of players, maybe even just getting Saliba off just so nothing silly happens. I mean, we don't learn from mistakes. It wouldn't surprise me if he just booted the ball away twice and got 2 yellow cards. No, Raheem Sterling, you got to do better there. Got to do better. Got to do better. So frustrating. Man City were frustrated with him, and he was putting in double figures of goals and assists in some seasons, and they were pissed off with him. We've got this version of Raheem Sterling. The absolute drilled into the ground Chelsea reject version. Madness. I've never liked him anyway. I will happily put my hands up. There is a good level of bias. I can't stand him. I've never liked him as a footballer. devastated that you're watching him. You want him to score, of course you do, but yeah, this geezer ain't for us. As soon as that Chelsea manager, his name's gone off the top of my head. As soon as he said he's out, I knew it. Gut feeling, my stomach literally dropped. I went, he's coming to Arsenal. It just absolutely stank of an Arsenal signing. I've never smelt such an obvious Arsenal signing in my life than when Maresca, he's not part of our plans anymore. I was like, he's fucking signed on the dot. The second them final words came out of Maresca's mouth, Sterling had signed on the dotted line. We knew it. And what's he done? He's had enough of a game to sort of go, oh, do you know what? Arsenal might have done all right with this signing. He's done nothing. He's born in London. He don't have to fucking adjust to the city. He's played in the league all his life. He's played for top winning teams. I mean, I don't really understand what settling in period. He's been fucking coached under Mikel Arteta. I mean, how more of an easy, seamless transition does it need to fucking be for Raheem the Dream? But it couldn't be any easier for the geezer. And not only that, the geezer's taking in like fucking 300 odd bags a week. Like, I mean, come on. Probably what it is. Don't need to do anything. I don't like disingenuous players. When he signed, and I know they all do these cringe little bits, you haven't seen the best of me yet. Well, do you know what? If you genuinely believe that, then put some fucking effort in. Because you getting the ball and being too petrified to beat a League One right back and passing back to Saliba doesn't scream effort to me. See, again, we're knocking on the door of 20 minutes, people. And this is the point. Knocking on the door of 20 minutes. Have we had a shot? No. Have we created a chance? No. Like, why are we not able to be fluid enough with this team to actually bang on Preston North End's door with something? It's sort of mad, we're almost treating this like an away game against a good side. It's painful, man. So painful. You're good, mate. Yeah, I can access the app to get the game at the moment. Sounds like it's doing me a favour. Listen, mate, you are not missing a single thing. Not literally, not single thing. Like, I think I'd rather be punched by Mike Tyson than finish this watching this absolute shit. It just gets more painful with every passing second that goes by because nothing's happening. Absolute nothing's happening. Yeah, big up, man. We're just not doing anything. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to beat the man. Pass back to Zinchenko. Yeah, we pass forward, but he's not going to do anything. Here we go back, and then we go back. It's the Nielsen FC, man. It just is. It's just painful. We've got half the team in the half and all, and we're just like, oh fuck, we'll just quickly give it back to this geezer. Unlucky, nearly through, but finally we passed forward with some intent and conviction. Wow. Like the fact that we've got to praise a through ball that didn't happen pretty much says on the first 20 minutes and 35 seconds have gone. Painful. Nails on a chalkboard, painful. Phase 5 though, everyone, don't forget. Phase 5, the final phase. Mikel Arteta's now squad is complete. Fixed bench, and this is the football he wants to play. What was that? Who passed that in there? It was someone with blonde hair, so it was either absolute dipshit Zinchenko or dipshit Kivior. Fucking, not even Kivior, Divior. Absolute Divior. The geezer's a moron. He is nowhere near good enough to play for Arsenal Divior. Nowhere near it. It was one of the two plebs. I don't know who that was. Absolute joke. Okay, we're even struggling with throws. Jesus. Look, I know, like, I know it's always can't be an absolute certain walkover when you're playing League One teams, especially away from home. They'll want to give it a good bit of fight. But I'm sorry. This this just is not good enough. This is just crap. It's a copy and paste of every single game we've watched all season. It almost doesn't matter the quality of the opposition. We'll just play the same petrified, cagey, scared, unimaginative, boring football. Madness. I think even Mourinho would fall asleep watching this. Absolutely no good, man. What we're saying around there? 0-0, still Newcastle, Chelsea. We're looking at some of the other scores. 1-1, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Manchester United, all that new manager bounce under Ruud van Nistelrooy. Hated him as a player. Oh, look, we scored. Oh, Jesus scored. There we go. You can see how buzzing I am. Wow. I mean, can't even wake up for the goal. I mean, it's just. I sort of, to be fair, was on a web page while it went in, but I mean, wow. Jesus scored against the shittest team we've faced this season for the first time in 28 games. What do you want me to sit here with my dick out? Like, and these are just the things you need to be doing after putting me to fucking sleep for 25 minutes. Let's have a little look at it. No, he edits it, but who gets the other back there? Yeah, not bad. Look, it is what it is. Hopefully, from this point, who was it? Kivior. He actually done something. He actually won a header, for crying out loud. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Jesus probably meant to pass it. So, I mean, the geezer could not finish a wank, could he? Well, he's finished that. Listen, we'll take it. We'll absolutely take it. But it'd be nice to sort of have some sort of enthusiasm over the goals going in, because Jesus Christ, what a snore fest that first quarter was. What a snore fest. Let's hope it opens the floodgates, people. Innit? Fingers crossed for them floodgates being opened. Got enough talent on the field to not pass back every 5 seconds. And my stream, obviously, my stream's going to be a helmet. What's it doing? It's jumping like Kivior, embarrassingly. Here we go. Oh, Raheem the Dream's got the ball. What's he saying? Is that actually not a bad little flick over there? Is it offside? Is it? Yeah, man. Why is my stream absolutely ballsing up? Obviously, when you're doing your first watch along, of course not only do you want the football to be absolutely fucking soul destroying, you want your stream to fuck up, didn't you? That's absolutely what I want. To be fair, it's probably doing me a favour skipping as frequently as it is for some reason, because it means I get to miss some of it. Fucking painful. I don't mean for it to be boring. I actually enjoy football. I mean, I can't subscribe to this crap football. It does piss me off when you go to games. I've sort of made the point last night, and what I said, sometimes when you do sort of go to games, you make that added sort of effort to go to the stadiums and things like that, and then you walk out. It sometimes can just feel like a chore, It really can sometimes feel like a little bit of a bloody chore. I don't mean to come across a little bit negative, but yeah, sometimes it's just you're a bit shoulder slumped. It can be a bit meh. 2-0 Toon. Is it really? Let's have a little look. Let me have a little turnover. Because I looked at it a second ago and it was 0-0, I'm sure. What we got on there? Yeah, I'm just seeing them celebrating now. I must have been 2 in quick succession, mama. Yeah, good for you. Buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. I mean, you couldn't really ask for a better start. You're playing Chelsea, 2-0 up. Oh, there's a, oh, what's it? Was that Isak's little header and it sort of flicked in? A little bit of a ricochet, yeah. Little bits of fortune, but to be fair, look, I don't know. I haven't watched the game, but the balance of play, you might have deserved it. Newcastle there was it? Was that Isak? I don't think it was. Was there? Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah. Isak's got our second known goal. Yeah, I was sort of seeing it, sort of off ricochet and sort of off there. Listen, Mama, you'll take them as long as that net ripples. Who cares a less? Who absolutely sort of cares less, when you're in these cup competitions against it's a tricky game. An informed Chelsea. Um, to be 2-0 up, yeah, sort of at this stage, yeah, fair dues. Absolutely fair dues. Let's have a little look what some of the other scores are. Let's have a little read out. So yeah, at the minute, Brighton and Hove 0, Liverpool 0. Yeah, come on, you Brighton. Yeah, look, I want a Manchester United. I think Arteta's going to throw away the cups. So I want a Manchester United run of 2 years ago where they played absolutely no one. That will do me down to the ground because I just want to see us win something, especially that cup. I never seen this. We've won it since I've been alive, but I've not been following Arsenal since we won it in '93. I was only 4. Aston Villa won, Crystal Palace won. Possible little upset there for Palace. You don't know, especially with Villa being at home. Manchester United got a second goal now against Leicester. Newcastle up the 2. Go on, the mama, 2-0 up, obviously. And the Tottenham yet to kick off yet. It's annoying because I don't ever want Manchester City to progress because they're obviously quite clearly our rivals. But I can't stand Spurs. I'd rather Man City win because I just don't want Spurs to win, and I never will. Like I just can't stand them, and it also gives me such joy to know that they are an absolutely pathetic, embarrassing, horrific club and an absolute failure at winning trophies. It brings me joy. At least whilst I'm watching Arsenal struggle against crap teams, I get to sort of half satisfy the fact that Spurs are absolute dog shit. But their manager says, mate. And their manager says, mate, come on, man. You've got a likable manager, but a shit fucking team and a shit system. Let's put it back on the Arsenal game. Wow, they're actually in the Newcastle area. Preston area. What we're saying here? Wow, yeah, this stream just isn't working for me, man. Of course, let's try and see if there's another little thing to it. Typical, isn't it? Absolutely typical. What's this? I think we going. Is the next round's the? Is it the last? Is this the last 16? Or is it no the quarterfinals? Isn't it after this? So we got to probably have the draw in it after. I'm sure this is the last round of fixtures or something in it on the Wednesday, and then you sort of get after the last live game or something like that, which maybe might be the Spurs Manchester City game, the draw afterwards. If I'm sort of not mistaken, I'm sure it's something like that. Yeah, man, this Arsenal stream's almost now become unbearably unwatchable. Very frustrating or relieved. I don't know what one. I don't know whether to be happy or frustrated. Obviously frustrated for the stream, but I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not missing anything. No one's missing anything. I've put it back on the game and it's bounced off and ricocheted out for a throw. What quality football? Fucking Globetrotters. Look at Zinchenko. What's he doing still here, Zinchenko? Just go and have your love fest with the fake Ukrainian war, man. Like, just stop playing football together. I would. Well, I'm on at the minute 31.25. I mean, it's been skipping like a motherfucker. So I might be even further behind. I don't know. Um, we need sleeping pills when you can watch Arsenal. I know. I know. Yeah, yeah. This is an insomniac's dream, innit? Just let them watch 5 minutes of Arsenal, mate, and they'll have the best night's sleep of their fucking lives. It's just boring, you know. I just expect a little bit more, you know. I just expect a little bit more. Oh man, it's well frustrating. It's literally jumping every 5 seconds. I don't know what's going on. Pissing me off. Right, it's pissing me off. Let's put the Newcastle game back on for 5 seconds. Fucking thing. Go on the Newcastle, by the way, though, my mum. Have you been watching the game? Oh, look, now this one's doing it. What is it? Just a little internet thing, yeah? I'm absolutely having my pants pulled down tonight, and I'm relying on the old fucking TV, and it's just absolutely having its way with me. Even the Newcastle stream's going down. What is going? Just not my night, is it? Not my day. I've had a stinker of a day and all. I'm not even surprised that this is happening. Absolute stinker of a day. My customer, I'm not gonna post. Oh, Arsenal scored, but it's so jumpy. I haven't seen it. But that customer I had, man. Ah, you know when you just get them, like I'm an electrical engineer, yeah. You get them weird customers, any maybe tradespeople that's working, or anyone that sort of works in some sort of a domestic maybe basis. Oh wow, was that one area? Was it? Sorry, yeah, to cut myself there. It was indeed left foot. Yeah, see, this is what we're saying. You play players that actually want to do something positive, and shock when you give them the opportunity, they do it. Fair dues. He's asked a question of Mikel Arteta, and it's probably going to fall on deaf ears, isn't it? That's the frustrating thing. What a finish, Ethan Ranieri. Good lad. Come on, man. From this point now, we've got to give this geezer an opportunity. No, what more can he sort of do? What more can he do? He can only play the games that he's played in, and he's been good in every single one of them, isn't he? Absolutely every single one of them. Now that's cheered me up a little bit because I'm buzzing for him. Not only was it a bloody good goal, it's also just a little word to this awful little Spaniard of a manager that we've got. I'm here. Why haven't you played me? This is what I can do. You've been lacking in attacking in intent and anything positive, and you've just left me sat on the bench. Not only does I think this asks a question of you should be starting me against Newcastle, it probably says, why the fuck haven't you been starting me in the other games? You know? Very, very, very good goal. Buzzing for the young lad. Look, listen, these are young academy products. When they're showing good games, you do get buzzing for them. Do you know what I mean? You have that natural sort of want for him to do well. Buzzing for him. Look at him going there and all, mate. Yeah, he's a boy, this one, there. Yeah, so, yeah, Dazzo and Waneri, yeah, man. It was a really good goal, Mark, wasn't it, mate? Absolute quality. Spurs are beating City, are they? Was Yeah, because that kicked off at what's it, quarter past, so we got 10 minutes in. Who got the goal, Marks? Let me have a little look now. Oh, Timo Werner. Gee, that's even more of an insult than going 1-0 down. That fucking Werner scored it. I mean, that's just rubbing salt in the wounds, isn't it? I mean, that guy, Timo Werner, I don't know why they've reloaned him again. I mean, maybe to knock City out the Colin Cup. I suppose if he does it, essentially, it'll be somewhat worth it. But we all know Spurs won't win it because they don't win anything. Funny enough, their last trophy that they won, I think, was it 2008, 2009, against Chelsea, the final. I think extra time did Woodgate score the winner for Spurs one day Ramos. I'm fairly sure I'm there or thereabouts with it. Yeah, long old time ago. Long old time ago. That was Woodgate when they got Woodgate back from. Do you remember when he went to Real Madrid, people? And on his debut, he scored an own goal and got sent off. Or did he score 2 own goals and get sent off? It was some. He definitely at least scored an own goal, one own goal, and then got sent off on your Real Madrid debut. I mean, there is stinkers, and there is stinkers in there, and that is just not how you want to start your career at Real Madrid. I don't think quite rightly they ever warmed to him ever since. Bit of a mad signing that one, wasn't it? I mean, they've signed some good English players, Real Madrid. You know, McManaman, I thought done well for them. Obviously, Bex had gone there, you know, and sort of done well. I even actually think when we remember Michael Owen going there, his goal scoring record, all right, he didn't have a successful time there, but actually his goal scoring record was pretty good when he first sort of joined and started, and it just sort of went from there. But Jonathan Woodgate, man, yeah, wow, that was a bit of a mad one, isn't it? Bit of a mad one for Real Madrid. Take this fucking stream nearly unwatchable. I do apologise, people. It's really pissing me off. But it's just so skippy. Of all the games, it hasn't been this bad. This since I got it in 2017. I'm not even joking or over exaggerating. It's so fucking typical. Absolutely so typical. It makes me want to go to the shop and get another 5 beers. Honestly, just pissing me off, man. Why? And it's on Sky Plus, the Plus thing, whatever it is. Ridiculous, man. I'll sort of see how it sort of carries on. See if I can try and find another stream sort of at half time. I mean, there's not really much to recap at half time, is there? Then Ethan Waneri goal, yeah, but the rest of it's just been go to bed, hasn't it? Yeah, it's been a game, yeah, where I just feel like if we just up that level, maybe. Oh, and is Raheem Sterling? Yeah, couldn't control it. Raheem the fucking dream. Couldn't control it. All you've got to do is just control it there, man. Dear, oh dear, he is wanking. It's so crap. I don't think he'd look good in any of the lower leagues. I reckon he's absolutely finished. Absolutely finished, Raheem. We might give you the odd little bit, but this is a geezer we're watching, and his career is just totally gone. Let's have a little look around, see what the other scores are. Wow, Man United are absolutely having it without Erik ten Hag. They've got 4 now against Leicester. 4-1. Casemiro's even scoring a brace. What's going on here? He was the worst midfielder on the planet last year. He's bagged himself too. Garnacho the haircut. He's got himself, and possibly the most punchable, strangleable wanker on the planet. Bruno Fernandes has even got himself on the on the goal sheet as well. I can't stand Bruno Fernandes. Everything, even his face. Have you ever seen a more strangleable face in your life? I just can't stand the geezer. Absolutely can't stand him. But he's output Manchester United 4-1 up. I mean, they are absolutely coasting. Newcastle still holding in strong. 40 odd minutes gone in. Fair dues to them. And yeah, still 0-0 at Brighton and Hove Albion and Liverpool. And yeah, still 1-1 with Villa and all and Crystal Palace. That'll be interesting to see what happens in them two sort of fixtures. You know, you'd have expected Liverpool and Villa to have gone through, maybe not so much quite comfortably, but you'd still expect them to sort of go through. Being held at the minute. Only really sort of Manchester United that are looking like they're absolutely. I mean, well, they are through at 4-1, and let's get it right. There's no 29-year-old Vardy and Mahrez that's going to be bringing that back. Let's get that right. And you'd be expecting at this point as well, you know, and Newcastle United to be good enough to be able to hold off this Chelsea side. I know there's plenty minutes to play, but 2-0. I think at home's a fantastic little cushion for Newcastle, and I hope they go on and beat Chelsea. I absolutely do, 100%. I'd much rather see. I wouldn't mind seeing the Newcastle Arsenal. But I don't mind Newcastle. I don't at all. You know, of course, I don't want them to win it if it's an Arsenal final, but wouldn't mind seeing a team like that with fantastic fans, with a fantastic loyal fan base. If my team ain't to win it, someone like Newcastle would absolutely enjoy to see lift this trophy. Okay, you're right about Owen son. Yeah, well, yeah. Listen, at Real Madrid, yeah, look, his goal scoring, he just weren't really given that much of an opportunity. But you look at his goal scoring record, weren't that bad when he came on and played. He was really good. No fault of his own. Yeah, they played on the left, which didn't suit him. The formation of playing, but yeah, he was good. He weren't bad at all for a moment. It's just one of them things. And then obviously he went to Mama's Newcastle after. Um, I can't, do you know what? I actually can't remember how he done there. Something's telling me he didn't do massively sort of great. I think he kept getting injured. That knee injuries, I think, didn't he, Michael Owen? Um, and I think he went to Manchester United and won the league, didn't he? Always, it's especially when he burst on the scene, Michael Owen. I actually was watching that in my bedroom, Dad. I was watching it in my bedroom. I think the brand of telly was Nokia. That's how mad that was. I didn't even know they fucking done tellies. Your typical little tiny little telly like that. It's fucking thick as it was wide. Um, Normal standard aerial, so it was fuzzing across anything like that. You could barely see the picture, but I just remember being sat in there and watching it. And when that goal went in and he scored it, oh man, just the euphoria was mad. I mean, I could barely see it on the screen, but you could even tell through the awful reception waves what a bloody goal that was. And to do that at 18, he knew exactly what he was doing when he's got played through. Absolutely sold the defender. And the finish, he burst on the scene, didn't he? What a better way to do it against Argentina, just as obviously a shame. It's a shame, obviously, that result. Fucking hate Argentina for that record and all. Never liked him. Never liked him. And that what's it, Diego Simeone. All right, Bex. I know we're going a bit off topic. All right, Bex probably shouldn't have done his tiny ankle kick. That I mean, probably wouldn't even have like caused the blood indentation in his leg, but he's gone down crying and holding his face. Unforgivable. Simeone, the hard man, the Atletico Madrid geezer. I mean, geezer's a little bitch, mate. I've never liked him, and I've never, ever, ever. I don't even care if it really is to the benefit of Arsenal. I've never want him anywhere near Arsenal Football Club. I cannot stand weeds like that. I can't stand it. I can't stand him. I just think it's pathetic, crying down like, how'd you look? How'd you go home and look at your missus in the eye after you've just rolling around on the floor, shouting and screaming and crying, pretending to be hurt, and you've got to then go home to your missus and then be a man? I mean, I just couldn't even look my missus in the eye if I started doing things like that. It's embarrassing. And that's Simeone for the odd man character that he gets. Pathetic. Well, but he got Beckham sent off. Beckham shouldn't have done it, man. Nah, he ain't a hard man. It's a little bitch, man, rolling around like that. That was 98 and all, man. They've always been rolling around like little bitches, and that little Argentinian piece of shit. Never liked him ever since then. Never liked him. Even just as quickly stick with that. So the Sol Campbell, we was robbed in that. The Sol Campbell goal. Wow. I don't know. Yeah, that was a long time ago. This is how interesting the Arsenal game is, and we're talking about England versus Argentina in the World Cup. And Michael Owen, talking about Michael Owen, who literally is the most boringest person on the fucking planet. That's how boring this Arsenal game is. See, just no imagination going forward there for the boys. I'm on 45 minutes, 21-22. Come on, 2 minutes. Ref, just blow early. Blow early. Dad, yeah, don't start. Martinelli does the same. So that they all do it. They all do it. Do you know what? I've always sort of really liked Martinelli, but Yeah, no, not because of the diving accusations that you're making, but just because he just hasn't progressed, has he? He's not moved forward since that season 2 years ago. We thought, wow, we've got a player on our hands here, and it just hasn't kicked on, has he? You know, when you sort of have that, it's almost like a pivotal moment that season for a minute where you're like, wow, you could go on to become something absolutely fantastic, Martinelli. Now do it again, and he didn't, and he still hasn't. You know, I really hope for him. You know, the rest of the season you can see something different because you can't, especially with this Arsenal squad. You know, we've got some new players in here, some new young players. You know, some have gone, some left, whatever. You can't afford passengers. Not when you've got a shit squad like we have. Squad first 11's good. The bench shit. It's not fixed. We cannot afford passengers, and we're getting players sent off every 5 seconds. You know, we just cannot afford passengers like Martinelli, like Gabriel Jesus. You know, like using Jenkins and Kiviors, they are passengers. Then they don't do anything, and it's very frustrating that Martinelli's allowed himself to become one. You know, oh man, this stream, I don't know I don't know whether I'm going to be able to fucking carry on. You know, so it's borderline unwatchable. I mean, the football alone is borderline unwatchable, but the stream's making it. I mean, that's just like putting the knife in your stomach and twisting it. Do you know what I mean? That's literally what it's like at the minute. In fact, I think being stabbed would feel significantly better than rewatching this first half. It's going to be no in-depth halftime analysis, by the way. First half analysis, absolutely shit. You got your 2-0, yeah, but I mean that was some serious work, man. Like that was graft. Maybe that half was the worst part of my day, and I had a real shitty one at one. Well, let's have a little look around. So I think we've got the City game still on, isn't it? Let's have a little goosey, see what that's saying. See what Spurs are saying. See if their asses have fell out. See what they're doing. What channel was it on? Was it on a channel? Is it on just the Sky Sports Plus anyone, or is it on a different one? Man United 4-2 now, is it, Mark? Let's have a little look. I don't know why. Every other game seems to be sort of full time. Let's have a little look. I'm assuming it'd probably be on maybe normal Sky, wouldn't it? Let's have a little jump over, see if we can get this little half hour because I mean I'd rather watch another game than talk about that first half because there's nothing to talk about. Crap. It was just boring. We're 2-0. I mean, yeah. Wow. Cool. Great. What we got here? Oh, wait, no. On BTR, I've just clicked on the wrong thing. I just see Bernardo Silva celebrating, but it's just a promo. Let's have a little look. What's it? Got to be on Sky Sports. Is that a normal Sky channel? Is it? What one, Mark? Let's have a little go down here. Here we go. Aberdeen. Here we go. Main event, isn't it? Right, what we're saying. Here we go. Oh, yeah, no. What's a little bit of injury, isn't it? Cool. Who's rifled that into the Liverpool? Was it Gakpo? 1-0. Well, not a bad finish. I thought he was going to do a lot better. To be fair, when Gakpo signed for Liverpool, he just hasn't lived up to it. I thought, do you know what? And one of the good things Liverpool have sort of been at is, you know, when they had the peak Mane and the peak Salah, and then they was adding to it. And this is something I'm really sort of jealous of how Liverpool do it. You know, okay, you know, maybe Diaz hasn't massively sort of worked or whatever, but whilst they had them two, they signed Diaz, they signed Gakpo. You know, they were signing players to already add to what was probably at the time especially when they won the Champions League and the league title. Salah, as much as I hate Mane, he was unbelievable, and he destroyed us along with the rest of the Liverpool side because he was world class. Um, and then they add to him, but we don't do that. What we do is we sell Lacazette, sell Aubameyang, buy Jesus, buy Havertz, and expect us to win a league title. I'm sorry, you look at there's very few teams in the last 20, 30 years who've won this league title without clinical striker that gets 20 plus goals a season. Manchester City was one of them cases with Jesus, but they also had prolific wingers and excellent squad. But that's besides the point. You can then also maybe sort of say the Liverpool, what I just sort of said, but you also had two of the best wingers on the planet. Salah was putting in a striker's numbers, wasn't he, on the right hand side? And I tell you what, Sane weren't too far behind. And then Firmino was phenomenal in just linking them two together, wasn't he? He was just an unbelievable link between their forward line of Salah and Mane. And him alone, who might have been anywhere near as prolific rather as the other two, but he was probably just as vital in that them Liverpool sides and their successes. Um, but for Arsenal, we've got Bukayo Saka who's putting in numbers. You can't knock that. I think he gets some unfair stick for Arsenal, Bukayo Saka. I think we're very lucky to have him, and he will only get better. But you look at that Liverpool side, and I'm making that point. They had two world-class wingers who were putting high numbers, and Firmino weren't putting in muggy numbers. What have Arsenal got? They've got Saka putting in decent numbers, Martinelli putting in no numbers, or nowhere near good enough numbers. Kai Havertz had a good patch, but he had a good patch. Yeah, he's had a good patch over a calendar year. When was the last time the Premier League was won in the calendar year? In its 100+ year existence of English football. When was it won in the calendar year? No one's ever fucking won anything in the calendar year. So do you know what? It's all well and good. He's had a good calendar year. I don't give a shit what these players do from December all the way until January. I care what they do from August until May when the teams like Manchester City win things. That's the frustrating thing. That's the frustrating thing. We are not going to win this league title with Kai Havertz up front. I like him. Do you know what? I like him. I'm starting to get to like him. I probably should say. I like the fact that he's a bastard. I like the fact that he offers something a little different. I like the fact, he has become a lot more physical than I thought he sort of was at Chelsea. He can do a job, but not the job of an Erling Haaland that wins you the league title. I'm sorry, that's just not. It's above his pay grade, isn't it? It just is. It's so blatantly obvious to see it. Now, do you know what? I will say this. I'm quite happy to have a Kai Havertz in this squad, who will put his body around, who will be a bit of a bastard, will make these clever fouls and do these sort of things. I'm quite happy to have him in the squad. But I'm sorry, if 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 Real Madrid or Barcelona took Haaland tomorrow, would they be knocking on our door for Kai Havertz? No. If one of Kai Havertz's agents offered Kai Havertz to Manchester City, they'd fucking laugh at them. Why? Oh, it's the second goal for Spurs. Here we go. Well, Manchester City are in a bit of trouble there, aren't they? But it is Spurs. If anyone can fuck this up, it is absolutely the team that's just gone 2-0 up. If anything, I'm quite more intrigued because one, I don't want Spurs to win this game anyway. So two, it would make it even more better if Man City came back and won it 3-2 for me, purely to just laugh at them even more. They're the real longevity banter club, aren't they, Spurs? Absolute pathetic. And do you know what? Do you know what I find more pathetic about Spurs? Let's just stay with them for 2 seconds. Their fans think they're something. I've never, ever met a bunch of fans that actually consider themselves right on the top tier, and they have won fuck all. In my lifetime, I was born in '89. What a wonderful year. Anfield '89. What a phenomenal year. They've won the FA Cup in 1991 and the League Cup. Like, what the fuck is that? Did they maybe win a? I think they might have won a Carling Cup in 2000 as well when they had Sergei Rebrov. I'm sure maybe that's ringing a bell in 2000, maybe 2001. They might have won it actually again there, if I'm being honest. I'm sure Sergei Rebrov scored in the final. I can't think who against who. But I mean, we're hardly, still pulling up trees with that. They've been extremely largely unsuccessful. And the attitude and the arrogance that some of their fans have that think they're something. I mean, it's madness. It's madness to listen to Spurs carry themselves like they are absolute one of Europe's elite. Like, you're not. I think they're smaller than Aston Villa. I do think Aston Villa's a bigger club than Spurs. I think Jez, Arsenal History and More, actually nails it on the head when he says Spurs aren't our rivals. You know, um, they're not our rivals. The word, the phrase that he actually uses, it's tribal. That's what it is, and it is. Whenever, apart from perhaps you could say the FA Cup semi-final in 1991, which they beat us in to go on and win it. When have we rivaled them for anything? When have we rivaled them for a league title? I actually don't know. When was the last time Arsenal Spurs were in a title race, battling it out until the last day? I can't fucking tell you. The last time they won the league title was in '61. I mean, they haven't been in many more title races since. I certainly know in my lifetime they haven't been. You know, they come third in the two fucking horse race against, the other. They finished, when he got battered 5-1 at Newcastle, and they let us finish above them. Now they finished third in the two horse race. This is what we're dealing with Spurs. Absolute shambles of a club. Absolute shambles of a club. The only thing that they've got going for them is a good stadium, and they've got 60,000 pricks that fill it. That is just so Spursy to have something so nice and tarnish it by filling it with something so vile, like a Spurs fan. Only Spurs fans. Right, yeah, I suppose on normal Sky channel. Yeah, I've got it up. Yeah, I've got it eventually. You know what I mean? Yeah. Cheers, dude. Yeah, Spurs gold, man. It is Spurs. Yeah, that's just what Spurs. Listen, I'm not telling anyone anything that no one already knows. This is just what we've grown up with, Mark. I think you 1 year older than me. I think we're of similar ages. We've seen Spurs be shit virtually for the entire part of our lives, nearly 4 decades. And anyone who's 20, 30 years older than us would have seen him shit for 7 decades. Isn't it? All right, we're saying it in laugh and jest, but it's fucking fact. Absolutely crap. Nothing would please me more than seeing Man City coming back and winning 3-2. And then I couldn't give a shit who Man City gets on. I hope they get knocked out the next round. I don't want Spurs to galvanise any form of momentum from this. I don't want them to do anything. I want them to win it, lose every single game, win almost. Steady on, Aaron. I want them to lose everything. Every single thing that they go in, I'd happily watch them be humiliated. I don't want to see them draw anything. Unlike the absolute melts that were doing Spurs watch-alongs, um, praying for Spurs, putting Spurs t-shirts on just so Man City could win. Why would you just not be a tiny little bit smarter and say, I'd rather Manchester City lose than Spurs win? I mean, technically, it's sort of ish the same thing, but it's coming from a very different angle. You're wanting Spurs to win. I'd rather Man City lose. It's the same outcome, but saying I want Spurs to win. Ah, get away. Get away. No respect. Once them words come out your mouth, finished. Piss off. Right? You're not an Arsenal fan when you're I want Spurs to win. You just aren't. That sentence should not coexist in your vocabulary as an Arsenal fan. I want Spurs to win. I don't. I don't want them to win anything. 2-0 up. I'm just praying for an absolute capitulation. And do you know what? Who would be surprised if we saw it? Who would be surprised if we saw it? I actually haven't seen the Man City lineup. What they're sort of on. I see Haaland on the bench. I mean, they look like they've got half decent sort of defence on. To be fair, Gundogan. Do you know what? He hasn't really been that much at the races as he this year. Ilkay Gundogan. He's, look, players get older. They do. It's an unavoidable part of life. The legs will go sort of eventually. But when they sort of signed him, I just thought, fuck, and he just sort of hasn't hit that. And obviously, I'm glad, I didn't. On earth would I want him to come back and hit the ground running at City? But yeah, it's been a bit of a, not, I wouldn't say a miss for Manchester City, but he's definitely hasn't made the impacts I think that they hoped he would have made, rather, if I can get my words out and finally speak English. Let's have a little look at the lineup. I'm sort of intrigued to see who started there. Bear with me. Let's have a little look at the lineups. So we've got Ortega, good goalkeeper, man, isn't he? Yeah, Lewis Stones, Ruben Diaz-Aki, fairly, yeah. Gundogan, yeah. Savinho, yeah. O'Reilly, McAtee. They've got a couple of names in. Nunez, obviously, he's going to get more minutes after the Rodri injury. And sort of Foden. So they haven't got a recognised striker really at all. Since selling Alvarez, they'll probably still get over the line, wouldn't they, Manchester City? But Julian Alvarez is a miss. His goals last season when Haaland weren't playing, rested or for whatever reason, I know he was injured for a little bit. You can see that, can't they? And Phil Foden probably going to try and do a job up there. Not a bad finisher of the ball, but yeah, go up front when you say Savinho, O'Reilly, McAtee, Nunez, Foden, hardly shits your pants, does it? Do you know what I mean? It really doesn't. Who have they got on the bench? So obviously Haaland to change the game. Bernardo Silva. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they've got a couple of injuries or whatever, or yeah, it's not an impressive forward line, is it? Really, for Manchester City? I mean, Tottenham need to absolutely be. They've got a great opportunity, is what I'm trying to get at, to actually get a result here, because that forward line from Man City fucking stinks. Absolutely stinks. Craig, mate, parting habits on strain. I don't know whether is that American thing for strang. I don't know. I'm not down with your hip hop lingo. I'm too old, Craig. Even though you're older than me, I'm not down with the lingo, brother. You're too cool for me, mate. You'll have to write it in less gangster chat. How's the boys doing anyway, man? Like I said again, big up Ronnie and Colin, man. Always love for your boys, man. They're great kids. Are they on strang as well? So Kulusevski, going in. Just a little bit of afters, isn't it? A little bit of afters from El Ginge. Nothing in it. I've never minded a little bit of afters like that. I know if you're repeatedly doing it, you will eventually sort of get a yellow card. But I don't mind a little bit of that in the game. A little bit of physicality, shoving someone and going, "I'm here." I've never minded a bit of that. But it's just all eradicated now, and a little bit of touch, especially when you're an Arsenal player. We're just the new rule that needs to be written, Arsenal, aren't they? We're like, oh, they're the practice team, we'll give them the yellow cards, and you'll just never see something like that happen again. Not the excuse for where we are in the league. I'm really not saying that. I'm just more saying the officiating is absolute plop. Strange decision to bring them on. Oh, is it come back on the game? Is it? Is it El Snorefest back on the telly? I'll turn it over if the stream actually sort of half lets me. Let's have a little go. Let's give it a go, Craig, the old mucker. Has it already been that? Is it? 15 minutes, fuck's sake. Well, there's 2 secs. Hopefully it's sorted its life out. This stream. It's just so typical, man. Never had any issues with it. First time I want it to actually do something half decent, and then pulls my pants down. There we go. Yeah, back on. Yeah, what was down? 49 minutes nearly. There we go. And now we can resume the punishment. Now we can, instead of watching what might have been half a decent sort of game, now we get to watch us struggle against League One side. Yeah, so yeah, just to come back to what you said there, Craig, because I didn't properly speak about it. So yeah, Party and Habits have come on, and they actually haven't seen who they've brought off, mate. Hopefully not even Waneri. I thought I've only just turned over, fella. Yeah, I don't know why you'd bring Thomas Partey on. I think he's probably been the best midfielder that we've had this season. And he is absolutely prone to breaking down. I'm totally agreeing with you, mate. He would probably be the last midfielder I'd bring on. Could you imagine he brought him on and he got injured after being 2-0 up at Preston? I mean, I'm sorry, but you'd get fans absolutely pissed off with that because there's no need for it. And this is sort of when I sort of spin back to Arteta's tactics and things like that. Why is Partey on there? Like, if he actually is, and I've read your comment right, because actually I haven't seen him just yet, so I might have got it wrong. Yeah, I think that is on the right hand side, isn't he? There, yeah. I mean, why is he on? I just don't really get it. Like the most riskiest of players, he risks, doesn't he? Like, I mean, we see the season before, he managed to stay fit nearly that whole season, didn't he? And then last season broke down. Season before, the other season broke down. And you play him against a team like Preston. If you start getting free, if we go 3-0 up and whatever, and they start feeling mugged off this lot, they'll start fucking booting the shit out of these players. They will. I know they will. I'd probably be doing the same. While we're nowhere near them, I'll just start being a prick. You will probably get these League One players that will just fucking go in there with the hard challenge and frustration. Why are we bringing on our most broken down players in a vulnerable scenario like that when you're 2-0 up and there's no need? We're not fighting for the game. I don't really understand it. But I don't really understand a lot of what Mikel Arteta does, to be fair. I don't know why he plucks his eyebrows. I don't get anything of what he does. I don't know why he's the best looking Spaniard we all know. I don't know why he's the worst in-game tactical manager I've ever seen in my life. I actually don't. I don't know a worse one. Granted, I haven't got an Argos catalogue full of managers, but from watching football for the best part of 2-3 decades, I can't remember anyone as absolutely crap as this, making the wrong decisions and also like for like boring ones. It's just so sort of obvious what he does, and when he does surprise you, it's for a shit reason. Oh wow, he's not bringing on like for like subs. No, now he's bringing our most injury prone player on in the games he don't need to play in. We've only got 2 massive games against Newcastle and Chelsea coming up that we desperately need him in. That's all right. We'll bring him on against Preston North End, who's probably going to kick the shit out of him in the next 30 minutes. That makes so much sense, doesn't it? Because we really need another central defensive midfielder on to protect the 2-0 goal lead at half time against Preston. Is he that petrified? Like that's where we're going now. And we're going to bring on like another 4 defenders or something and just have no strikers on. Oh, 2-0 up, you got to keep it safe, haven't you? Against Preston North End. Madness, man. I didn't think he'd be so negative. I really didn't. Phase 5 though. This is what all the top gooners wanted. They couldn't wait to be in. Phase 5, struggling to beat championship teams, struggling to beat League One teams, struggling to beat Atlanta. 5 points behind in the league after 9 games. Phase 5. Don't enjoy it, but I'm just saying facts. Very frustrating ones, man. Very frustrating. Give me 2 seconds. I remember to unmute myself this time. I don't know how long I was rabbiting on last night. How long it was muted for. But yeah, Martinelli, he's done all right. He's beaten 1 or 2 sort of men. But you know what? I'm sure just every time he kicks the ball, it's like, I mean, look at it. I mean, there's just absolute nothing about that strike, was it? It was like my 4-year-old daughter like barely kicked it. Like it's just crap. My nan with a knee replacement and she's 88 could have fucking hit more power behind it than that. Ah, dear. Let's have a little look, see how we're getting on the other games. Gotta be more interested than this shit. Let's have a little look. Oh, Liverpool 2-0 up now. Who's got their second goal? Let's have a little look. Oh, Gakpo's got 2. He's got 2. Yeah, 72 minutes played in that game. Yep, 4-2 still Manchester United. Still the 2-0 up. And Tottenham, of course, they're just edging into the last little part there. Their first half, 45 minutes, 2-0 up against Manchester City. What you got to say, if they can keep that up, it's a good win. But we all know with Spurs, they'll probably draw maybe Crystal Palace or someone like that in the next round, and they'll probably fucking lose. And I've just seen that it's 3-0. Let's have a little look who scored it, because I'm a little bit behind. I say yes, it must obviously come from this set piece then. Raheem Sterling obviously back to N.E. When N.E. ball in there, oh wow. Mate, I think I'm a little bit more behind that, because that ball in there, whoever headed that and then it went behind them, Jesus Christ. What was that? Was that another Kivior assist then, was it? With his left peg? And Kai Havertz has buried it. Not a bad header. We'll give you that. Was that assist number 2? Was it for Kivior then? I think he got the headed one in the first half, didn't he? And yeah, to be fair, that weren't a bad ball in from Kivior. Weren't a bad ball in there. Let's have a little wee look at it again. Yeah, it's picked him out. Kai Havertz, decent header. That's what you sort of want from him. These sort of goals. You know, he's never going to be the beat man, silky finisher, is he? Pardon me, sorry about that. It's just not in his locker really. Yeah, look, good cross, good goal. Yep, fair dues. I mean, if there was going to be any sort of form of doubt about the game, I mean, it's absolutely gone now. But to be fair, Preston weren't doing anything. The only real accusation about the game is that we weren't really doing anything either. But look, 3-0. I think what was I talking to? Was it Craig actually, or was it Martin? I can't remember. One of you two had mentioned in the chat. I think it might have been you, Craig. Now it's just get through the game with no injuries, you know. And this is the frustrating thing. Now, if Partey had started this game, you'd be going, get him off, wouldn't you? So why is he on? You would naturally, you would. I'd now, you know, I'd get William Saliba off unless he's come off the party. I don't actually know who came off, to be fair. So he actually might be off. But I'd just get some of the boys that you know are going to start against Newcastle, or you'd like to sort of see start against Newcastle. I'd leave Mourinho on for the minutes. He probably needs the match fitness with his injury, still trying to bleed into the team. I'd give Nwaneri 90 minutes. Sorry. I mean, you might as well leave Sterling on because there's no one else. I mean, he's not going to do any damage now, as he can just run around like a little deformed T-Rex for the next 30 minutes. You might as well leave Gabriel Jesus on. I mean, yeah. Oh no, William Saliba is on. Yeah, these are the players I'll be taking off. Maybe I didn't see the bench. Maybe there's a young centre back there. Surely you can trust him. For the next 30 minutes, 3-0 up. Yeah. Yeah, Havertz. Yeah, the goal. Yeah, wasn't bad, was it, Mark? Dad. Yeah, got to take Toby for a walk. Yeah, man. All the best. I appreciate it, Dad. And I'll see you Friday, mate. I'll see you Friday. The old man is kindly going to look after the kids because me, my partner, and a couple of our mates we're going to see the Libertines. I can't think where is it. I think they're playing in Camden. Sorry. Yeah, we love a little bit of Libertines. I'm a bit of Pete. Yeah, was it Mourinho? Oh, Mourinho and Timber came off. Yeah, like I said, I actually didn't see. I switched over to the other channel. Just quickly, Craig, as you may know more than me here, it was tactical, like, and I'm more sort of looking at the Timber sort of thing. Was it just getting some more minutes into him to get him maybe a bit more match speed and ready for Newcastle game? I hope so, of course. And Marino, yeah. I mean, I'm sort of surprised with that one, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it is what it is. Maybe he might have just been having a little knock. He's sort of only just-ish came back as well, and he, yeah. Hopefully, it is just for the case of giving him that added minutes for the weekend, and absolutely nothing worse. Oh, is that Raheem Sterling actually running after the ball with some intent there? Wow, and he's actually beat a geezer and gone back, of course. Jacob Kivior for the 2 assists. You've got that in your locker, ain't you? And it should be 3-1. This is the issue. Oh, it was offside, doesn't matter. He's just got that. He has not learned from that dodgy, stinky pass, has he? Honestly. The Spurs collapse is starting. What we're saying, is it 2-1, Mark? Let's have a little oh yes, indeed it is. Manchester City with a fucking late goal, as they always get. Yeah, that is massive now. That is a psychological, absolute psychological damaging goal for Newcastle, for Tottenham Hotspur. To concede it then, now Man City, that's that. They know now that they're going to win this game, I think. At 2-0 down, they've probably gone in there and going, what's actually going wrong here? What are we doing? At 2-1, they're probably going in there going, right, we'll go back in the game now. Let's go out there second half and smash these. Right, Craig, yeah, I hope so, mate. Didn't see any sign of injuries. Yeah, like I said, yeah. But now he's put Bukayo Saka on. Did I just see Saka then? I'm fairly sure I did. Like, what's he doing on the field if he's just come back from injury? Why does Bukayo Saka need fucking 30 minutes against Preston North End? Why does he need it? Why? Can someone just explain why he's got to risk him here? Could you imagine if Saka, and we all see what we were like a couple of games without Saka, he comes in against Liverpool, smashes it the first half. What if he gets injured? What's he doing, man? Yeah, Craig, yeah, it's madness, mate. Aaron, big up. Why is Arteta, why is Arteta bringing on Saka? There is no need for it. Like, why is he doing it? Like I just sort of said about Thomas Partey a minute ago, yeah, big up AMC always as well, brother. The thing is, yeah, is if they was already on the field, we'd be screaming for them to come off now because the game's done. There's no need for them to still be on the field. But he's bringing them on. Like, wow, Raheem Sterling just beat a couple of men. Jesus Christ. Oh, how have they not put, are they going to eventually put it back in the net? How have they not, between them, put that in? Jesus Christ. Gabriel Jesus, you can see why he's not a finisher because he's like Martinelli. They just try and tap it in. How is that? Yeah, not turned into four. I'll never know. But mate, it's frustrating. AFC always, fella. It is so frustrating, ain't it? That us, just a common Arsenal fan, can see how mad this is. It's mad. How did we not score there? Yeah, I'm assuming you're referring, to that. But look at it. Is Gabriel Jesus just like Gabriel Martinelli taking a shot at goal? Like, uh, just kicking it, and you just see the ball depressingly rolling towards the keeper's hands. Madness. Yeah, yeah, you're definitely ahead. You're definitely ahead, Marks. And now my streams are going a little bit mad again. In good teams, coaches hold players accountable. Yeah, great teams, players hold coaches accountable. Well, would Tony Adams be holding George Graham accountable? Yes. I know he's his right hand man, but doesn't mean to say that he was a yes man and he wasn't Tony Adams. He was one of the best. Well, he was the best Arsenal captain, um, and probably one of the best England captains for their club, not for England. That we've sort of seen. He was Mr. Arsenal. He was absolutely fantastic. That they were the sort of days as well where you could actually do something physical or say something slightly negative that wouldn't upset anyone and ruin team morale or boo boo boo. There was stories where I know that Tony Adams and Keown and thing. I think it was when maybe Lee Dixon had just first come in, and it was the Arsenal Tottenham game, and it was the first North London derby, and they'd had him pinned up and threw him against the lockers and said, "You don't fucking play well today. You're done. This is a North London derby. You will play well today." Throwing him up against the locker. It's your first London derby, mate. But that's your teammates saying, "You don't fuck around in this game." Could you imagine that now? You'd probably see like high profile lawsuits. Oh, he ripped my Prada shirt, so and it bruised my skin slightly. I'm suing him for criminal damage and ABH. That's what you'd get now. It's all borderline embarrassing. But yeah, like great teams, these players will never hold. To get my point out, will never hold Arteta accountable. Do you know why? Because Arteta's now built this little safe space for the little babies to play in. This little safe little bubble where Big Daddy Mikel Arteta has patted them on the back, and he's got all the players on the nipple like that, and Arteta's feeding them all. He's giving them all milk and making them hungry, and now they love him because Arteta's now the one. That's sort of brewed them up and nurtured them and make this so that they don't want to question him. That's the little community that Arteta's built. That little I don't want to say that because he give me a start or he done this and all that. That's what he's bought. No one wants to question him. I don't want, and I know sort of what you're getting at as well, so I'll allude and carry on with the point. I don't want little yes men bitch players. I want, someone that's going to go like a Tony Adams or someone like that that's going to go, "What you talking about, Mikel? This is a load of shit. This ain't working, mate." Or, something like that. But all of these lot, who's going to do that to Mikel on this team? We've got we've got some characters, but who actually is going to stand up and go, "No," because they're all holding dicks in a circle in this little Arteta love fest at the minute. And that's where we are. That's where we are. This little dick holding love fest. Manchester United 5-2 up now. Is it? Oh, Casemiro ain't got his little hat trick, has he? I wonder. Brighton 1, Liverpool 2. Oh yeah, they've clawed a goal back then, Brighton. That'd be interesting. Fuck Liverpool. Come on to Brighton. Sterling will run out of Jamaican tax, bro. You need to step up. Yeah, but we haven't seen the best of him yet, though. We're about to see it, according to Raheem Sterling. When are we going to be seeing that then? 'Cause he's only here for another 6 months. When are we going to be seeing him step up? Like, what we're doing? We really, in reality, we will never see him step up. He is not fucking good enough anymore. He had a period where he was absolutely smashing it, and that was it. Sterling, Sturridge, Suarez looked phenomenal. Why Man City bought him? He started putting in goals when it was Sterling, Sane, and Aguero. That was about 5 years ago. What's he done since? When Guardiola tells you it isn't because you're unbelievable and there's no one better in your position, it means that you're extremely replaceable. And he is. And he was. What did he do at Sterling? And what did he do at Chelsea, sorry, Sterling? I mean, apart from just be one of the numerous statistics of wasted money that they've spent on players, Sterling. But do you know what? What might solve Arsenal's problem is if we sign him. If we sign Raheem Sterling, yeah, that'll work. He was on the decline at Manchester City, so he went to Chelsea, completely lost all anything that he had been completely deteriorated up here. So we thought we'd give him a go. In a league season where we've got a weaker squad and we absolutely don't need any passengers because we keep getting players sent off and players injured, but we sign a passenger who's on a downward spiral and is nowhere near even Reece Nelson levels. I thought it was going to be people were saying to me, oh yeah, but what you've got to look at it, Aaron, is at least he might be a Reece Nelson upgrade. Really? I haven't fucking seen it. And I'm not saying, Reece Nelson's like absolute mustard either. We needed an upgrade on the geezer. But I'm sorry, you finished Raheem Sterling dancing around this field like a spastic fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex. Like, it's just is not what I expected Arsenal to sign. Some weird little gimp that runs like that. It's just not what I wanted. We could have signed anyone else, but useless Sterling. And obviously we've had the ball in the back of the net there, but it's not going to count. Shove, how you doing, my girl? Check you out popping in. Do you know what? Yeah, I think you are the first female to actually be in the chat. Good for you, Shove, my girl. For anyone that don't know, that's my mate Craig's missus. Yeah, good for you. Check you out. Pop in your little pop in your YouTube Arsenal X-rated cherry, eh? Well done. Check me out for having a female viewer. I mean, I know I'm an absolute female deterrent, so it's really good to see one pop in and turn up. And if anyone I'd have chose, it would be you, my dear. Absolute pleasure. I hope you're well, man, and I hope to catch up, obviously, with you soon. I haven't seen you in not ages, but it's been a little bit too long. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure seeing you. And you know I love you to bits, man. The next round, the draw will be done tonight. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it'd be. It's usually after the last game, which inevitably would be the Spurs and Manchester City game, when it usually is. To sort of half touch on that, I know it might be the coward's way out, but I'm only going to choose this avenue because Mikel Arteta will throw it away otherwise. Give me the worst draw in the world. I don't care. But I want to just face the shittest team in the round all the way to the final, so we can actually maybe get a bit of silverware, just like what Man United done 2 years ago. Because Mikel Arteta will throw it away otherwise. And what we're going to do? Maybe we'll win the FA Cup. Look, you just don't know. But third, fourth round exits in the last 4 years since he won it suggests that he absolutely wants to throw them away. We're going to win the Champions League. Anyone going to be completely absolutely gone up here and say, yeah, you're in it to win it? Yeah, but it doesn't mean to say that you've got a great chance of winning it. Nah. We're going to win the league? Probably not. I keep hearing people saying about the league. Oh yeah, well, if Arsenal beat Newcastle on the weekend, we'll have amassed the same amount of points as we was last season. Yeah, but we lost the league by 2 points last season. What does that fucking mean? Like, oh, we're on course to at least finish 2 points behind again. People that say this shit, honestly, peddling out this demented little narrative. It's such a demented little narrative to be pro Arsenal. I want to be pro Arsenal. I just can't. I can't be it when I see this crap. I just call it as I see it. I'm not copying anyone. I'm not influenced by anyone. It's just how I feel, and how I feel is based on what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing is 4 years of failure. What I'm seeing is 4 years of being nowhere near a final. What do you expect me to be like? Oh yeah, now that's it. Yeah, we finished eighth, fifth, second. We got knocked out the FA Cup third round, fourth round, fourth round, and we haven't made it past the. We've only made it past the sixth round of the Carling Cup once, but we are gonna fucking destroy Manchester City and Real Madrid over 2 legs in the Champions League. Now, when you actually listen to that, how thick does that sound? How stupid does that sound? Oh well, we can't make it past any form of latter stage in our domestic league with League One teams in there, but we're gonna rock up to the fucking Bernabeu and absolutely turn them over. We couldn't even do that against the worst Bayern Munich team I have probably ever seen in my lifetime. That team it had good players in. That's fine. But they were on a shit run. They were on a downward spiral. They weren't in a good moment. They were beatable, and we shit our knickers. That's exactly what we done. All the Arsenal players, when they pulled their little white shorts down and they saw their little fluffy little G-strings, there was absolute fucking Jurgen Klopp caked all in the backside of it because they all crapped their pants, mate. All of them. Madness. If we had a proper summer transfer window, we wouldn't be panicking buying players like Sterling. Mate, I'll say it and I'll say it time and time again. I don't mind repeating this bit because people need to fucking get this in their heads. This was the window. Gundogan signed for Manchester City has not been the same Gundogan. So, no. I'll say that was not a fucking pass for this season. They've obviously got Rodri a little bit injured. That is what it is. Not really what we're talking about. But they didn't sign anyone else really to come in and replace him or have a good backup or good enough backup for him is what the angle I was sort of getting at. They signed Savinho, which, yeah, do you know what? He looks like a good, tricky little winger, Savinho. But, I mean, whilst, yeah, he is beating players left, right and centre, he's not blowing me away with Vinicius Junior hat-tricks. He's nowhere near as good as Saka's output. So, we're not talking about Manchester City that have just re-signed Mahrez again. Or signed Gundogan for the first time. We're not. They were gettable this year. We were knocking on the door last season. And now I think complete your squad, Mikel. Complete your squad and get yourself another winger, preferably on the right, because you know that we've not really got anyone else to compete with Saka properly there. And go get yourself the striker. I'm cool with Havertz being lingering around number 2 in the striker. I'm cool with that. Go get yourself Gyökeres. Pay the 80 million. You've got enough money in the bank now. What'd you go and do? You sign Calafiori. That's fine. That's all well and good. You sign Mourinho. Okay, that's cool. Now, when the proper signings coming in? Yeah, we signed Sterling on deadline day. This was the pivotal window to close the gap on Manchester City. Did we do it? No, we didn't. There's no way you're going to convince me that not signing a striker was for the better or the greater good. There's just no chance of it. Would Arsenal, if Arsenal had Gyökeres, we ain't got a fucking crystal ball, people, but we're also not demented. If Arsenal had Victor Gyökeres this season, would we have more points? We don't know for certain, but what we probably do know is that they probably would have more points. Yeah, they probably would have. They'd have probably been able to get over the line in some of the games where we've dropped points. We probably would maybe even be blitzing the teams we've struggled against. I don't know. But Arsenal would be better this season with a player like that. Moving forward, I also think, yeah, but we've got him for the rest of the season. We haven't got him even looking at the future 31 games. So did Arsenal do what they needed to do? What about when we signed Declan Rice and we were like, we will only be signing world class players right now? Well, let's not knock Calafiori. You know, he's probably got a lot of talent in there, but he's also a very young Italian defender coming to another country for the first time. Not another country, but England for the first time. He's not world class. Lee Gunner always says it, and it's a very great point that he makes. Mourinho's was Sociedad's third best midfielder. Like, that's not world class. He's not the best classist midfielder at his own club. So what are we doing? This pivotal window that we failed to capitalise on, and we've seen it time and time again for Arsenal. They do not do what is required on that pivotal moment when you need it. They do not do what's required. Why? Because we've got that sweet, sweet Champions League money now. We're probably a guaranteed fourth team. Why do we need to be ambitious anymore? Madness. Yeah, signing up Brian. Yeah, I get you, brother. I get you, mate. Yeah, sounds good, bro. Yeah, give me something, bro. Yeah, it's madness, man. But how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you, Yeti, man. Always a pleasure. And people, if you haven't done already, give the gentleman a sub at Longhaired Yeti's Cave. He's got watch-alongs over there. He's a Nottingham Forest fan, a passionate Nottingham Forest fan at that. He's got movie reviews as well as game reviews. He's got a Silent Hill one going on at the minute. If that's something that interests you, get your backside over there and give him a watch, man. Yeah, big up, bro. AFC always. Aaron, yeah, 20 years. 20 years, man, yeah, without a league title. 30 years without a European trophy, yeah. Without a League Cup one as well. You know, the last one being at Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't it? 4 years without an FA Cup. 85 years without winning all these trophies. You know, that's you know, nearly a century when you add it all up together, isn't it? What we sort of doing is it's mad, you know, really when you sort of actually think that that's where we're at now. Um, and you wonder why fans like us, you know, I think a lot of the new school fans will sort of see and think, oh, I don't know why you're being frustrated. You know, everything's looking rosy at the minute. That's because maybe you've just started watching football now in this weird little cult, and you feel like part of this weird little deathly cult of this Arsenal fan base. Maybe that's why, because you haven't seen us win anything. You haven't experienced all of that. You haven't felt what it was like to actually support a winning, excellent, world class team like we had with phenomenal players in there. We were there last time. It hasn't been a couple of years for us. It isn't rosy for us. We've had it the rosiest, and that was 21 years ago. We've been told to be patient, and then we get more. We're an extremely patient bunch. 85 years without winning all of these amassed trophies. How much more patience do you want? Why do we have to be criticised for finally running out of it? Oh, everyone's got their own little line, yeah. Everyone's got their own little line that they cross, um, and you know, don't criticise that person for their line being crossed. I'm sort of done with it. I've had enough time and waiting around for this little regime. We've had 5 years of it, and has anything got better? The football's worse. The results are same-ish. We're actually further behind at this stage. Like we're not looking like a team moving forward. We showed less ambition in the transfer window than the previous season. The previous one was still shit, but we're still being told they're 10 out of 10 windows. Like it just, you know, when you actually listen instead of just blindly following like proper deluded melt Arsenal channels and things like that, when you actually start looking at things and listening out loud to just even the slightest bit of sense, you should be going, well, yeah, what actually the fuck are we doing here? We're impatient because we should be better than this. For the money spent, better than this. 3-2. Oh, that sounds like a belt of a game. Yeah, I can't really say much about this one, man. I see you must have copied that paste, yeah. Yeah, I don't know why you might have wrote another channel. Yeah, big up, lad. We love a bit of AFC, yeah, man. Yeah, but big up for coming on. Yeah, we love a bit of Yeti and all, man. We love a bit of Yeti. Calafiori is a model for Armani, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, then he is a footballer. Now listen, I don't mind the little two because we had our old Super Freddy, didn't we? He was a bit of Calvin Klein, but do you know what he done? he was instrumental in us lifting trophies. In 2002, he was on a fantastic run towards the end of the season. Didn't he score like 5 or 6 games in a row? And then he almost got put through, and it was nearly his possible goal against Manchester United away, obviously, which Fabian Barthez has parried, and we all know Sylvain Weltor. We all know that sort of moment. I think that might have been the 7 game in a row that he scored. He was on absolute fire, so he's contributed. So I don't mind if he wants to put a fucking pair of good boxes on and be a little bit whatever. But Calafiori, what have you done so far? Do you know what? The fucking geezer's a horse and all. I don't actually understand why people have got their dicks out just proper having a tug over this geezer. Like, it's because he's Italian and long hair and has got tattoos. If you actually look at the geezer's face, it's fucking looks like Sarah Jessica Parker's brother. The geezer's a fucking munter. Now, I'm not saying that's coming from the fucking oil painting over here, because I'm no prize either. But when I actually looked at Calafiori's face, I was like, do you know what? He's fucking ugly. I don't really understand it. Maybe it's because I don't want to bang geezers that I think he's ugly. I don't know. Well, what can we do? I just skipped over that. Thanks for the shout, bro. No, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, no, it's quite right, man. Go over and follow some Yeti, man. Anytime, fella, man. We love a bit Yeti. Yeah. Ranieri, the best player on the pitch, sub to a standing ovation. Almost like this midfield needed a bit of spark, innit? Since Odegaard got injured 2 months ago, and only now does he realise that even Ranieri might actually be half decent enough to have started. But no, that's all right. What we'll do is, in the meantime, we'll suffer with 5, 6, 7, 8 games of Denilson passing between each other, because none of them know how to put it forward. Madness, absolute madness. Aaron, this will make you laugh or cry. Robbie Lyon from AFTV said David Seaman was a goal. Oh, when Arsenal lost, yeah. I mean, like the geezer says some absolute shit. Now look, listen, we can all make a slip of the tongue sort of thing, but I haven't actually watched that, but I have seen a lot of people sort of talk about that, and I think it's, well, from what I gather, I don't know from my own eyes, but from gather, he was like set in stone that he was. I mean, David Seaman had retired, I think, even by that point. I know he went to Man City after, didn't he? But I don't know if he even lasted the season at Man City. Like maybe he did, but I don't even think he was. I think he'd retired even at that point. So the fact that you suggest that he was in goal there, I mean, come on, like he's not invincible, is he, David Seaman, or as excellent as he was? It was Jens Lehmann, man. I mean, it's so mad that he. But you look at like a Jez when he sort of talks about Robbie, and I've seen in a couple of streams, he's caught him out on a couple of little lives as well. And I didn't know one interesting thing, and that was they're all like Luton fans originally, like that. They were not even Arsenal fans, and I cannot fact check that myself, but one thing I can say is I trust Jed's opinion, and I think probably anyone that's listened to what I just said probably does as well. It's madness, isn't it? When you think about that, a lot of that channel, I think, it's called out a few people, like the Julian for pretending to be at that Anfield '89 game, um, and like the things that he said, Jez was like, yes, it's actually massively factually incorrect. But this is the problem: is you've got all of these all these Arsenal fans are just buying into. They're looking up and thinking this is the way to go. This is what the Arsenal fan base are and what we want, and it couldn't be further from the truth. Like, I remember years ago when I sort of watched that channel, and sometimes I watch a couple of little fan cams from certain people. I don't mind. There was actually some good authentic people on there now, and even themselves had some sort of shred of dignity in their analysis. But now that they've started going into press conferences, as soon as you start going into press conferences in a trusted position and you're getting close to the manager with content and things like that, the authenticity, I'm afraid, of opinions will always sort of be questioned, because there's ulterior motive, isn't there? And the ulterior motive is getting closer to Arsenal, getting that more money, getting this and all that. And like anyone in business, why if I hired AFC Always to promote my business and he was saying, yeah, this business is as shit as business you've ever known, I'm gonna sack you instantaneously, am I? Do you know what I mean? And it's exactly the same. And that AFTV, I think they probably maybe started maybe with with that sort of bit of integrity there, but I think it's been long gone, which is why I just don't watch it anymore. It's not for me. It's just so gone the other way. It's not for the fans. It's for Robbie's pocket, and it will always be from this day forward for Robbie's interest and for Robbie's pocket. And that's just my opinion. What can you do? AFC always, yeah, man. I've seen Arsenal win 5 league titles, man. 89, 91, yeah, 98, 02, 04. Seen us win Cup Winners' Cup, yeah. Seen us win the League Cup. Seen us win FA Cups. But because I'm so toxic and never, I'm not a proper Arsenal fan. Man, yeah, listen, yeah. The sad thing is we know you are, but that's not what constitutes a proper Arsenal fan now. Do you know why? Because you haven't took 17 selfies of yourself in the stadium and bought £400 of the latest merch. So you're not a proper Arsenal fan. You're not. Where's your 85 selfies on match days? And having spent 45 quid on the most stale, crappiest fucking food and drink in there, and buying all the latest new merch that they bring out like literally twice a month now. It almost is. Is that the fourth? Is it, or has it been disallowed? That's what proper Arsenal fans are now. The ones that are bringing in the money. The ones that are bringing in the money. The one with no brain cells. The ones with no brain cells is why the atmosphere is so shit. Which is why no one can question Mikel Arteta's authority. Which is why there won't be a big enough crowd to get on Stan Kroenke's and the manager's back. Because honestly, he's been sat in that stadium, fella. I promise you, they're only growing in numbers, mate. They're only growing in numbers. Top Gooners, they'll be back and in greater numbers. They're just constantly multiplying, mate. It's like you destroy one and two grow back. It's just almost a losing battle. It's like a virus. Do you know what I mean? It's just plagued everyone. The whole stadium, the atmosphere's been wank. That's why. Why do you reckon it's been wank? It's no wonder that there's parallels between that and the ballot system. And the ballot system is designed for what? People like, do you know, in the chat, Vic Lavia, what a geezer. Silver member for a long time. Can't get a ticket now. Used to go regularly, sit in the same spot. So that atmosphere that he's built around them people, now that's gone. So then that little bit loses some sort of form of atmosphere. And that little scenario's dotted around the whole stadium because people can't regularly go where they usually regularly go. And they've built up that over time. Is there any wonder that there isn't the same atmosphere anymore when the fucking club single-handedly destroyed it? Or have they just tactically done that for a thing? If they have, it's fucking clever, but at the detriment of the football. But if they've got that in their pocket, do they care? That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. David Barr, man, how we doing, fella? FTV capitalised on fan discontent to become what they are. Yeah, imagine that built to give fans a voice, not paid by the club to keep the fans quiet, mate. There's something. There is. There's something now. They're not the same. Their delivery of things aren't the same as it was, sort of years ago. When they were just sort of fresh starting. Now they are now part of the club. When you're going in, and sorry, yeah, sorry, I think my van's just having a little go. Yeah, so I've lost my trail of little thought there. I'll have to maybe come back to that. So sorry about that. But yeah, no, big up to you. Yeah. My van's, like I said, my missus has just gone out and had a little look at it. Probably to just cap off the worst, a very crap day that I've had. Probably just lost about £5 of tools. Oh well, they're the companies, I suppose. It just means I'll have to email them tomorrow. Oh, I can't stand doing that. Absolute vulgar. But yeah, no, big up. I digress. Yeah, it's just a little bit frustrating to sort of see, where that channel's gone, because I actually did quite enjoy it at one stage. So I thought it was authentic, and I don't think authenticity is a word really that I can associate with that channel anymore. Authenticity is a word rather that I can relate to channels sort of like mine, like on North Sides, like Jez's, like Kenny Ken's on his Twitters. You've got Darren Sullivan's. You've got, you know, obviously Lee Gunner. You know, the people like that are just saying it as they see, putting big financial and you know, a lot of effort in terms of you know, traveling around the world to watch Arsenal, you know, up and down the country to watch Arsenal, even to just go to home games. You know, you might not be seeing your kids that day. A lot of energy is exhausted. Um, and for what? And sort of for what? So yeah. It's just one of them things. Authenticity, not for me. But we're the ones that get criticised for it. What madness? Really, when you think about it, it's madness. And when we don't win anything this year, what's going to happen then? What'll happen? Oh yeah, I suppose you were right. No accountability from anyone. What's Abbott's done here? Oh my God, it's Raheem Sterling just missed that. Oh dear, that geezer. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what can you do? I tell you what, I can't bloody wait for this game to be finished, man. It's just been an absolute snore, isn't it? An absolute snore. Anyone enjoyed watching it? I definitely bloody haven't. He's got to be putting that away though. And I mean, look, it's good defending as well. You actually can't really take that away from him. It really is all right defending, but at the same time, I mean, he's got to be putting that away. And yeah, there it is. There absolutely it is. Well, we've won 3-0. Match reaction. 3 goals. Bored to fucking death for 2 hours. There isn't going to be too much to sort of relay there, really, is there? Do you know what I mean? A little bit of frustration, nothing that hasn't already been said. Um, but look, three, you know, we'll take it. We'll take it. 3-0, comfortable-ish. You know, we were never really tested, but you know, unfortunately, with the players that we had out there, you know, maybe we could do a little bit better. But now we just got to do is just wait for that little draw. Wait for that draw to come out. I don't care. I'll say it on the camera. Clip it up. I want the worst team left in it. I do, because Mikel Arteta will bottle it if we play half decent side, and he'll throw it away. That's why. It's not because I'm a coward and I don't want us to beat the best teams. It's because I don't trust the manager to start a good enough team when we face a good enough team, because he'll throw it away. Because we've got bigger fish to fry. Bigger fish to fry. We haven't won a trophy in 4 years. Give me any fucking fish. I'll fry it. And what are we doing? City player being stretched off. Not sure who. Savinho. Yep. Let's have a little look, see what the sort of scores are at the minute. Just at the minute. I think Manchester United, what are we at? Where are they? Are they still got the 5? Yeah, they finished up at 5. Let's have a little look. Yeah. Finished up, yeah, Liverpool 3-2. Probably a good game in the end. And look at Aston Villa. Aston Villa lost at home 2-1. That is an upset, because Aston Villa are a bloody tricky side. Now let's get it right. I'd rather play Crystal Palace away than bloody Aston Villa away. I know we got a 2-0 win there, but that's a tricky place for us to go as well. You know, as well as sort of anyone. So it's just the old sort of like teams there. Yeah, I wouldn't mind Crystal Palace. Give me Palace at home. I'll have that. I'll absolutely have that. I know there's a couple of games yesterday as well, wasn't there? Southampton 3-2 Stoke. Was it Brentford win 5-1? Yeah, these are the teams. Was it? Was that yeah, the last 6? Yeah, give me some of them. I don't care. I don't care about having to face Man City or the best teams. Just give me the team that gives us the fucking chance to win a trophy. Do you know what I mean? Because we need one. We're all sick of waiting. But look, I'm going to end the stream there. Thank you very much for joining in. Bit of a meh, wasn't it? Unfortunately, the game, my stream just kept skipping. What can you do? But I always, as ever, absolutely appreciate the people that come by. It's the first one that we've done. Do you know what I mean? We, as long as we improve and keep going for the next ones, that's all that sort of matters. Well, thank you so much for coming in, Martin, man. Big up, man. Thank you very much for joining me, fella. Thank you very much for your input in the chat, man. It's always been greatly appreciated, as has everyone that's sent a comment and add a little view. It's greatly appreciated. We've won 3-0. We're into the next act. Let's see who we draw in what I'd presume would be about half hour's time. That'd be quite interesting. But until then, have a great evening, everyone. and I'll catch up with you very, very, very soon. Okay.